So I'm sure everyone has heard the news by now. It was announced yesterday that Oklahoma City will now be playing with 2 basketballs. No, real talk, that's the only way something like this can work. And honestly, they wouldn't even be the first team to do it. The Lakers are going to be playing with 2 balls as well. Now, in all seriousness, this was a nice trade. But personally, I have no idea why everyone is going so crazy over it and congratulating the Thunder all of a sudden. All they did was acquire a player who's not even as good as Lonzo Ball. Jokes aside, this is a legitimate ranking, and if people didn't already boycott ESPN, well, now's a good time to start. Before we jump right back into the video, I want to give a shout out to Zently. Zently is the only app that is built for renters like you, and it's completely free. It's your smart assistant to do those pesky renter tasks that suck away your time. Zently helps you split bills with roommates, automatically pay your rent every month, and even send fix-it requests to your landlord. Many renters forget to split bills with their roommates and to keep track of who owes what. Zently finds bills to split from your credit card transactions and allows you to settle split bills with your rent every month. It's so easy, renters, stop leaving money behind. Zently makes sure your rent payments are made reliably and securely every time. If anything in your rental breaks, she's on it in a flash by sending fix-it requests to your landlord. She makes dealing with your landlord painless by sending automated texts and emails. To make the deal even better, Zently is running a contest where one lucky winner that downloads Zently and pays via the app will be entered to win 1 month's free rent. At this time, Zently is only available in the United States. Getting back on track, the Carmelo trade was a good move if you look at it from a distance. But once you get into the small little details, it's actually a great move. Sam Presti basically took 3 small garbage bags and transformed them into one big garbage truck. That's probably the worst analogy you will ever hear, but you get the point. So how does this all affect the Warriors? Well, I'd like to start by thanking them. If it wasn't for them, these insane trades wouldn't even be happening. And I'd also like to say, they're going down in the Western Conference Finals. The Warriors only have one player who can legitimately defend Westbrook, and that's Zaza Pachulia. Not because of skill or talent, but because he's dirty as f***.
At the end of the first half.
I don't know. He hit me kind of hard, but sorry, I'm gonna get his ass back. Straight up.
Did you notice him standing over the top of you?
Nah, I didn't see that till just now, but I don't play that game. I'm gonna get his ass back. So whenever that is, I don't know when it's gonna be, but I don't play that game.
But the matchup problems OKC will give to the Warriors are insane. As soon as the Paul George trade happened, I knew it wasn't enough to beat the Warriors. But with this new big 3, it's pretty simple. Draymond can defend Melo, Durant can defend Paul George, but finally, no one can defend Westbrook. That has been the biggest issue OKC has with the Warriors, and it's also why Westbrook completely shits himself when he has to play against them. These are downright horrific shooting numbers, but the Warriors have thrown just about every defender they had on Russell. It's a simple formula, and it's exactly why big 3s are formed. Hasn't anyone wondered why it always takes a big 3 to win? You know the last time a team without a big 3 won? I do. It was never.
So it's Wade's house, LeBron's kingdom, and Bosch's pit, baby.
There isn't a single team in the league with 3 elite defenders, meaning one superstar will have to be left open, or at least gets to face an average defensive player. Now, what makes the Warriors so incredibly good, and Steph so incredibly lucky, is the sheer amount of great defensive players. Steve Kerr's job is pretty simple. Oh damn, they have a great offensive player? We'll put Draymond on him. Oh damn, they have 2 great offensive players? We'll put Draymond and Clay on them. They have 3 great offensive players? We'll put Draymond, Clay, and KD on them. Not only can they defend nearly everyone, but they get to hide Stephen Curry on defense better than Waldo. Now, I sound a bit hypocritical at this point because I said Westbrook will be left open at all times because of his new big 3, but then I also said the Warriors have enough defenders to defend a big 3. Something doesn't add up, right? Wrong. In most cases, when it comes to big 3s, one of them is either a defensive specialist, kind of like the Warriors big 3 with Draymond, or one of them is gay, kinda like Miami. This Oklahoma Big Three is straight weaponry. The Warriors team combined cannot defend them, and basically all they specialize in is offense. The three of them can score anytime they want, and they will share offensive duties, which will take a load off of them, allowing them to play better defense at the same time. Oklahoma City is now the best team in the West, folks. Also, an important detail amidst all of this is Kevin Durant is headed back to OKC, yeah? I mean, that's kinda how it works for him, right? You know, go to the team where you have to do the least to win a championship. Now that team would actually need two balls to play. Both of them which Kevin Durant cannot provide. So to put this entire trade into context, Sam Presti took Cameron Payne by the ears and then tossed him aside to the Bulls. In return, he got Doug McDermott and a 2018 pick, which he traded to New York to get Carmelo. I mean, the man basically took Cameron Payne and transformed him into Carmelo Anthony. If you can take Cameron Payne and transform him into a fucking toilet bowl, it would still be an upgrade. I don't think I need to explain myself or pull up any stats to show how bad Cameron Payne really is. I also don't need to get into the details of the Paul George trade. That was another highway robbery for OKC. And it's just about incredible what they did. They had the best offseason of any team in the league and are even better than they were when Durant was on the team. Also, it only took them one down year in which they still made the playoffs and Westbrook won MVP. You know, it's funny what happens when snakes evacuate the grass.
This is something you really want to make it a big statement about.
Because I don't think I should. I don't want to go. That's really. I mean, that's kind of that's the nucleus of my belief. And I think it's different. It's not just me going to the White House. If it was, this would be a pretty short conversation. But it's like I said, it's the organization, it's the team. It's hard to say because I don't know exactly what we're going to do. In lieu of, or if we do go, if we don't go, or whatever, but my beliefs stay the same. So I have a better answer for that once I can kind of understand where the group is too.
Now, in the playoffs is what truly matters. So me claiming OKC to be the best team in the West is potentially an exaggeration, but claiming they will beat the Warriors in the WCF is not. Before continuing though, I would like to say, you can never count out the Spurs. I haven't mentioned them often enough, but they fit somewhere in this equation. As for the Warriors, here's how it is. In a 7-game series, I think Westbrook can outplay Steph Curry.
Who is he?
Carmelo cannot outplay Durant. I'm just gonna be real about that. And Paul George can outplay Draymond Green. Let me know your thoughts as to who will win in the playoffs. Make sure to comment below. But I think OKC is a better team as of now. Let's put that all aside. Seriously, let's put it all aside. Let's be happy. Be happy that Westbrook has some help. The Houston versus OKC series in the playoffs that just happened gave me anxiety. The only reason Houston won that series was because of a bench. A fucking bench. And the fact that Westbrook had to sit on it. Now, when Russell goes to the bench, you have two players who are arguably better scorers than even he is on the court at all times.
Man, I don't know where to start. I got a lot of feelings, but I don't know if I can say it all. But I want to start with thanking you guys. Shout out to Sam Presti, my teammates, Stash Bro, Steven Adams, members, trainers, the crazy man, the whole state. Because when I lost, I'm thinking you guys, when I lost my family and when I lost home, you guys gave me family and you guys gave me home. So that's why Oklahoma and this organization, the whole state, will live in my heart. And then the second, I want to say, please beat the Warriors for me. Please, I will be watching that game, so please beat the Warriors for me. I just want to say, man, I can't thank you enough to you guys. You guys did everything for me. And lastly, I want to say, just please take your permission for me because they love you guys. And that's all I can say right now. I got no hard feelings. I understand it's a business. I'm not mad or anything like that, so don't get me wrong. I love you guys. It's a new adventure for me, New York. So please pray for me. I hope you're gonna have an amazing season with New York Knicks, and I'll see you guys soon. Appreciate it.